All right, I think I've got it set up now. So, hello, I am here. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for tuning in to the daily devotions. I am, of course, Dion, the tea priestess Ref Sloan. And as I always like to do when I'm starting my videos, when I'm connecting with you, let's take a few minutes to check in with ourselves. So, take a nice deep breath here. And as we invite the elements of earth and water, air and fire and spirit into our space today, we want to ask the question of our body, earth, the physical realm. How are you physically? Just noticing what's going on with your physical body, checking in on the water, the emotional realm. How are you emotionally? Checking in on the mental realm, the air realm. How are you mentally? Checking in with fire on the energy realm, energetic realm. How are your energies today? And checking in on the spiritual realm. How are your spirits today? How are you feeling about yourself today? And if you notice anything that is swirling and twirling or just not quite right or just feels kind of shenanigan-y, do give yourself permission just to be compassionate, be loving, be gentle with yourself. And if you decide to make any changes about how you feel, again, make sure that you're doing so from a place of compassion. And we especially ask the element of fires to support us today as we dive in and do a daily devotion. So, fire is as I said, it's the energy realm, it's the action realm, it's where passion and life force lives. And if you'll notice that if you're not passionate about what you're doing, it can be an energy drain. Some people can drain the passion and the life force out of you as you're having to do it. As you're having to do them things and as you're having to be in their energy. Fire is the place where our desires are energized. Fire is the biggest transformer. You know, when you throw a piece of wood onto a fire, it breaks it down into all of these into the components of ash. So this is why fire is very, very powerful in shamanic tools as a shamanic tool. Fire also never stays still, even if it's just, again, back to looking at a piece of wood being burned, even if the flames aren't up and moving, even when it's just crackling along the bark or whatever piece of wood, you'll notice that, it's always, always moving. Fire helps us to illuminate that which has been in the dark, and its primary power is the power of action. So, as we are tuning in to our feminine divine spirits today, want you to start with a couple of journaling questions. Number one, we're going to go back to how is your energy levels, and we want to begin with asking, how am I feeling about the energy I'm expending in the different areas of my life? So just kind of take a good overview about your work, your home life, your friendships. Just just a couple of little notes about how you're feeling about the energy you're expending in all of those different areas. I'll give you a couple minutes here to journal. Give you about one more minute here. Okay, next we want to tune in and ask our feminine spirit what we need to do in order to up level our energy today, very specifically. 1 to 3 things that you can do to up level your energy today. And I want to give you some suggestions here. So, if you are familiar with your chart, your astrology chart, you can look at the Venus. What is your Venus sign in? So, for example, I know my chart, my Venus is in Taurus, and Taurus is an earth sign. So, some of the things that uplift me energetically in my earth sign is to go outside and put my feet in the dirt or to allow the sun to be on my face. Anything that has to do with the physical, because I am an earth sign, because my Venus, my divine goddess self is an earth sign, that helps to up level me. If you are a water sign, then spending time near the water or doing something that is very fun, very playful can be very energizing to your inner goddess. If your sign is in one of the air signs, if your Venus is one of the air signs, then that can be in anything that has to do with mentally stimulating things, that can be very energizing to an air sign. And then, of course, a fire sign, anything that is a very fiery energy, maybe dancing or anything that really gets the energy moving, that can be can be very energizing to a fire sign. Now, all of this is not to say that as an earth sign, I can't do something fiery because believe me, I love to dance and that physical movement. I love K-pop music, so the physical movement of really getting into my songs and really dancing, doing Zumba, that really energizes my body. It has me in tune with my body. So that really up levels and energizes me. And that can be the same for any of the signs as well. And in addition to that, looking specifically at the elements of your particular Venus goddess sign will help to give you some clues if you don't know what that is. And that's one of the things we'll be talking about very deeply in my new program, Devotion, which is starting on June 3rd. Devotion is a year-long celebration of the goddess within, and we will be talking again about your Venus sign, and we'll be connecting with her very deeply to help you really get the nourishment, the deep, deep nourishment that you need, that your spirit needs in order to help you fill full up so that you can build your self confidence, your self efficacy, that is your belief in yourself, and your self care. And when I'm talking about self-care hits here, it's really that really deep nourishing that we need. I know for myself, before I started really focusing on devotion as a spiritual practice, I didn't realize how much I was running on fumes. So we're going to really dive deep into the care and keeping of you from this astrological, from the shamanic perspective during our time together throughout the course of the year. We'll meet twice a month on the new moon and the full moon. And in between those times, you'll get an email filled with just a little bit of love, a little bit of encouragement, and some other things to consider and play with in your toolbox as you nurture and nourish yourself. If you want more information about that class, you can definitely go to goddessteahouse.com/devotion. All right, so we've got we've got a couple of things that listed here that we can do to up level our energy today. One of the things that for me I did right was to go outside and get my feet in the dirt and have the sun on my face. It's a gorgeous day today. Last couple of days have been pretty nice too, but I haven't consciously made an effort to go outside and allow the sun to just wash over my skin. And I love, love, love that. I love the feel of the sun on my skin. So I'm definitely going to do that. And I invite you to just find a little bit of time during your day to be able to do that. I mentioned that I like to dance to K-pop music. There's actually a K-pop Zumba channel that on the YouTubes that I really, really love. So I think instead of just keeping my dancing inside, which I usually do, I am going to take my phone outside and maybe even a portable speaker, and I'm going to go outside and let the sun beat down on me, but also turn on that music and dance. So allow yourself to pick from your buffet list that you made for yourself. And if doing all three things feels too much for you, just pick one off of your buffet list and promise yourself and go ahead and do that and make it simple. Remember, s- let's start simply and let complexity earn its place. And then just after you do your a little self-care thing here, then check in with yourself. Just notice how you feel because you've kept a promise to yourself. All right, dear hearts, I am sending you much, much love. I do hope that you've enjoyed this little taste of a daily devotion, and I hope that you will join me for the year-long program, Devotion, a celebration of the divine feminine within. Do take good care, and I'll see you tomorrow.